Good morning, my name is William Richards. This is my video submission for the Strength and Conditioning Specialist final exam. A little bit of background about myself. Right now, I work for this company as a personal trainer for this company called FitLife. I've been a trainer for about 16 years. I served 4 years in the Marine Corps, 3 years in the Army, and I've been certified through several different organizations, but just starting out with ISSA. Today, I'm going to be training my client, James Kim. James Kim is a tennis player. He's just getting back into it. He took about a year off because of the pandemic and everything else. So right now, he's pretty much like at a base conditioning level. So what we're going to do today is first, I'll go over his warm-up. So right now, you'll see James back here. He's warming up on the elliptical. I gave him the choice to do whichever cardio machine that he enjoyed doing, just to kind of get his body temperature elevated a little bit, just for the first 10 minutes. After this, I'm going to set him up through a bunch of mobility drills, a lot of which will be pretty much like transverse plane. I try to hit all three planes of motion, but for the most part, I want to really warm him up in that transverse plane because he's going to be doing a couple of things. As far as the workout goes, he's going to be doing basic exercises just to get himself back into condition. So, he's going to do your basic movement patterns like your squats, your lunges. He's going to, I have him doing hand release push-ups just to kind of, just for a closed chain movement to kind of work on his shoulder stability and everything. Then Trx rows. After the Trx row, what I have planned though is a little bit more like core conditioning. So we're going to do stuff like, we're going to do cable chops, then we'll do ball crunches. Then after the ball crunches, I'll have him cool down real quick, and then we'll stretch him out. All right, so right now, this is James. He's warming up on the elliptical machine. How you feeling, James? Feel good?
Pretty good, yeah.
All right, the first mobility exercise I'm going to have James do is the fire hydrant. Basically, this is an exercise that's just going to loosen his hips up a little bit. It's going to help him prime those adductors, or abductors, abductors, not adductors. So what I'm going to have him do is I'm going to just have him kick his leg out to the side. There you go. You can do it 10 times. And then after that, he's going to repeat on the other side. All right, so the next warm-up he's going to do is forward hip circle. So basically, he's going to ensure he's got a neutral posture. Tuck your chin just a little bit. All right, so now he's going to take his leg. He's going to imagine that he's stepping over a fence just like a dog. So he's going to shoot his leg back, and then come forward in a circle, and then continue. So he's going to take this. He's going to do it 10 times on each leg, and that'll help him get his hips loosened up just a little bit more. All right, the next warm-up exercise I'm going to have James do. It's a little bit of a core activation exercise. It's called the bird dog. The difference being, I'm just going to have him do like a little bit of a tuck under with his knee and elbow just to enhance his stability a little bit. So what I'm going to have him do is he's going to take his left arm, put it out in front of him. Take his right leg, put it behind him. Now he's going to take his left elbow and meet it to his right knee. There you go. Now extend, and we'll do this about 10 more times. Now I'm going to try to get him to limit his range of motion in his back as much as possible. He's just going to try to keep that core nice and tight and work on keeping it activated. A couple of points to look at. You want to make sure his shoulder's over his hand, and he's just going to tuck his chin just a little bit. He wants to have it so that there's about a fist worth of space between his chin and his clavicle. How you feeling? Good?
Good.
All right, the next warm-up exercise I'm going to do, I'm going to have James assume a prone position like he's doing. He's got his arms out in front of him. This is called the Superman. Basically, this exercise is just to prime his lower back, just kind of get it used to firing, just loosen it up a little bit. So what I'm going to have James do, he's just going to engage his muscles back here. He's going to pick himself up. He wants to keep his chin nice and tucked. About a fist worth of space just to keep a neutral spine. There you go. Now, for warm-up purposes, I'm going to have him do this about 10 times. All right, next warm-up exercise I'm gonna have James do is called a scorpion. So basically, he's gonna assume a prone position with his arms out to the side, palms down. He's gonna keep it that way so that he anchors himself. He's going to take his back leg. He's going to pick it up, and he's gonna reach across. There we go. Now return to the starting position, and now he's just gonna switch legs. This is a great exercise for warming him up in the transverse plane, getting those obliques stretched out, just getting everything loose in general, just so he's ready to go with the workout. All right, the next exercise I'm going to have him do is straight leg kicks. This is an exercise to actively stretch his hamstring muscles. So what I'm going to have him do is he's going to take his left leg, he's going to kick to the sky, and he's going to come back down. He's going to do this just a little bit faster. You want to train that stretch reflex in his hamstrings. There you go. So he's going to do 10 on each leg, and this will help get him loosened up and ready to go for the work. All right, so the final exercise I'm going to have him do for this warm-up is the iron cross. This is going to help him warm up in a transverse plane. Basically what he's going to, he's also going to warm up his obliques this way. So basically what he's going to do, he's going to take his left leg, lift it up in the air, and he's going to go across his body. Then he's going to come back, and then he's going to alternate legs. Now I have him do the straight legs kicks first, just so he has the mobility to get his leg up and then over the top. Sometimes with certain people, their hamstrings are a little on the tight side though, so they need to do that straight leg kick before they can actually go into that iron cross movement. All right, the first exercise I'm going to have James do is walking lunges. Walking lunges are applicable to tennis because you may have to lunge down and reach and hit the ball. So, it's an exercise. It's one of your basic exercises, though. So what I'm going to have James do is he's not going to do them weighted or anything right now, just because he's just getting back into things. So what I'm going to have him do, I'm going to put his hands on his hips just to balance. He's going to take a step forward, take a step forward. There you go. So you want him to put the pressure and everything through the heel over here. That way his knee stays lined up the back. All right, stand up and travel forward. There you go. I'm going to have him do a little pause in the middle, just like that. There you go. So far, so good. There you go. Now remember, got it. There you go. Chest up, shoulder back. We're going to try to limit your upper body movement. There you go. And James just doubled up on that one, but it's okay. Just remember to switch legs on the next one. There you go. Excellent work so far. Now for this exercise, I'm just going to have him do, like, this is roughly about a 25-yard distance. So I'm just going to have him do it to the end. But for most of the other stuff we're doing today, the rep range I'm going to keep at 12 to 15 reps, just because we're developing base conditioning. All right, so next exercise I'm going to have James do is just a box squat. So with the box squat, this is I consider both a beginner and an advanced exercise. Beginner exercise in a way where it kind of coaches him like how deep to go. And it also helps ensure that he can hold the proper posture and ensure that he has balance and everything else. Advanced in that it's also a method on working on starting strength, because the box disrupts the momentum of the movement. So the way I'm going to have him do it today is I'm going to have him do a prisoner squat variation. So with the prisoner squat variation, I'm going to have him put his hands behind his head. All right, he's going to pick his chest up, shoulders back. All right, so now he's going to initiate by hinging at the hip, and he's going to lower himself into the movement, sitting down into the box. You want to keep your chest up nice and high. All right, now pick yourself back up again. There you go. That's one. There you go. And up. That's two. And three. Now I'm going to check his alignment with his feet and knees and everything too. I can notice that his right knee's adducting a little bit though, so I'm just going to cue him to push his knee out just a little bit and line it up with his toe. There you go. There you go. And also too, I'm going to try to get him to stop swaying back just a little bit. There you go. So I want to try to take as much of that momentum out as I possibly can. There you go. How's that feeling so far? There you go. Looking good so far. Work with that right knee just a little bit. Right foot's also externally rotating a little bit. Alright, the next exercise I'm going to have James do is hand release push-ups. Hand release push-ups, very basic. You know, he's just doing a push-up. Then after he does his push-up, don't do it yet. After he does his push-up, he's going to break contact with the ground. He's going to retract his shoulder blades to get a little bit of activation with his middle traps and rhomboids. Then he's going to place his hands back on the ground, and then he's going to push up. All right, James, ready?
Yeah.
All right, so he's going to dorsally flex his feet a little more, so pull your toes in. There you go. All right, now you want to keep a nice, you want your body to be nice and stiff, so contract the midsection, tighten up the glutes, and press up. There you go. Now come down, break contact, and then push up again. Another 2. And push up again. There you go. 3. And 4. Body alignment looks pretty good right now. 5. Excellent work so far. 6. We got 7. And 8. 9. He's going to shoot for 15. 10. There we go. Everything's lined up nice. There you go. Excellent work. Midsection's engaged, glutes are engaged, everything's good. And excellent. Alright, next exercise I'm going to have James do is Trx Row. Now with the Trx Row, it's a pulling motion. One of the reasons I have him doing this is it balances out the pushing motion from the hand release push-ups. Another reason is this exercise engages his lats, so it gets, you know, the lats are your muscles where they help you out with your serve. You know, they apply to tennis in that manner. So the way this TRX works though is your foot position determines the difficulty of it. So when James walks his feet forward, it becomes more difficult. As when he walks his feet backward, it becomes easier. So this is good. This is good since there's no selectorized weight stack. He can adjust the resistance on the fly, and he doesn't have to worry about stopping the set. Like let's say we pick the wrong weight for the exercise. All right. So the way this exercise is going to work. All right, James is going to start with. He's going to stand up, and all the way up. All right. He's going to walk back so that his arms are extended. There you go. Now he's going to pick his chest up and shoulders back. Now he's going to walk his feet forward into the appropriate position. There you go. A little bit more. All right, so chest up, shoulders back. Now he's going to pull himself up to the handles. As he's pulling, he's going to keep his wrists nice and straight. He's going to drive his elbows back. He's going to ensure that he activates his middle traps and rhomboids. And he's going to come back down again. Again, he's going to inhale as he lowers himself, and then he's going to exhale as he pulls himself up. There you go, just like that. All right, the next exercise I'm going to have James do is horizontal wood chop. I'm having him do this to work on his core strength, work on his rotational strength in a transverse plane. Basically, this will have a good carryover to him doing a backhand in tennis or you know, any type of swinging type motion. So what I'm gonna have James do is he's going to take his right hand, he's going to grab the handle. This will help protect his back shoulder. He's going to take his left hand and put it over his knuckles just like that. All right, so now he's going to pull the weight. There you go. All As he comes back, he's just going to come back just a little bit beyond his left shoulder, and then he's going to rotate and squeeze. He wants to ensure that his toes are both pointing straight ahead. Straight ahead. There you go. He's going in a nice, smooth, controlled manner. Now with this exercise, I have him keeping his feet stationary because I'm trying to emphasize his midsection a little bit more. There is a variation where I can have him rotate his back heel, but for right now, I'm just working on having him get his strength back. So there you go.
Are you using these? Nope.
And keep it up. And again, we're sticking with the three sets of 12 to 15. All right, so now that the core part of the workout's over, I'm just having James do a little bit of a cool down. The whole purpose behind the cool down is just to gradually restore his body back to normal. You know, if you do an intense workout and you don't cool down, you know, especially since if somebody's deconditioned, hasn't worked out in a while, the blood has a tendency to pool in the extremities, and it could potentially cause you to get lightheaded, maybe a little bit nauseous, and in severe scenarios, cause you to pass out. Okay, so now that the cool down's done, I'm just gonna have him stretch out real quick. So this the stretch I'm gonna have him do right now is just a lunge stretch. Now with this lunge stretch, I'm gonna use a little bit more of an advanced variation where it's gonna stretch out the entire side of his body. So basically what I'm gonna have him do is pick up a leg. So in this scenario, he's going to be stretching his right leg. So move your foot forward, just not that much. Back a little, right there. Okay, so as he does this, he's going to keep his chest up, his shoulders back. Now, he's going to tilt his pelvis forward a little bit, just like he's pouring a bucket of water forward. There you go, just like that. So he's stretching that bottom hip flexor. Now, I'm going to bring the remainder of his body into this. So he's going to take this arm, you're going to lift it over your head. So now, from here, he's going to reach over to the back of his shoulder. He's going to do a slight turn, and then he's going to reach back just a little bit. By doing this variation, on top of the hip flexor, I also added the oblique, the lat, and the tricep to the stretch. So you know, it makes it a little bit more of a full body stretch. It's also a little bit more functional to tennis, because when you would stretch out before a backhand, you would reach across your body. So this hits a little bit of that entire chain. All right, next I'm gonna have him do a hamstring stretch, just to stretch the hamstrings out. So basically what he's gonna do, he's already sitting in the position. He's already has his leg out, so now he's gonna go chest up, shoulders back. He's gonna overlap his fingers, he's gonna reach out, and he's just gonna hinge forward at the hip. So I'm gonna watch him, keep your chest up, there you go. And bring your hand down to here, keep your chest up, and just creep forward just a little bit. You feel that? Okay, so what I'm looking for here is I don't want him rounding forward, pick your chest up a little bit. Basically, it's a compensation. So when you're in the act of hinging, that hamstring attaches into your pelvis. When you're in the act of hinging, once you can no longer maintain a neutral posture, that hamstring is done. If he reaches forward, so go ahead and do it like you're going to do it. If he rounds his shoulders forward and everything like this, it just creates a little bit of spinal laxity, so that's not what we want. We want him to go chest up, shoulders back, and just reach that way. And you want to target that hamstring. All right, I'm going to have James do one more stretch. This is just to stretch out his inner thighs. Stretches out the whole adductor complex. So I'm gonna have him do a butterfly stretch. So he's already pretty much in position though. I'm just gonna have him grab his shoes by his laces. Now, from this position, he's gonna pull his feet in. Now, also too, he wants to pay attention to his posture. So he wants to go chest up, shoulders back, keeping a neutral spine. And he's just gonna hinge forward at the hip as far as he can. If this is as far as he can get, that's good, as long as he's catching the stretch in his inner thighs. You don't want to lean in and compromise your spine or anything like that. So, how's it feel, James? Good? And this, just like the other stretches, which I forgot to mention, I'm just going to have him hold that for about 20 seconds, and that's it. How you feeling? All right, to summarize today's workout, I trained James for tennis. He was out for a year due to COVID, and now he's just getting back into working out. So he's at a base conditioning phase. So basically today, warmed them up for a few minutes on the elliptical while he was waiting. I had him do some mobility exercises just to actively stretch out his muscles so that he was ready to go. I kept the static stretching towards the end of the workout because static stretching prior to working out can actually inhibit performance. During the workout, I had him do basic motions. I had him squat, I had him lunge, I had him do hand release push-ups, and I had him do rows for the pulling, and I had him do a rotational pattern that was similar to a tennis swing. And then after that, we cooled off, and then I stretched him out. I hope you enjoyed watching my final submission for the final exam, and have a nice day.